In the bustling city of Karachi, Pakistan, a group of 6 women from affluent backgrounds had been meeting regularly for a book club. The club was merely a façade, however, as they used these gatherings to indulge in their dark desires. The women, all married with families, shared a secret. They were unable to find satisfaction in their marriages, and they sought an outlet for their unfulfilled sexual needs. One day, they met a young man named Saad, who had the mind of a child. Saad had been abandoned by his family and was struggling to survive on the streets. The women, seeing an opportunity, took him in and provided him with food and shelter, but there was a catch. Saad was to be their sexual servant. At first, Saad was confused by their demands, as he had no understanding of sex or the complexities of relationships. The women, however, were insatiable, and they soon began to take advantage of his naivety. They introduced him to acts that were both thrilling and taboo, pushing the boundaries of their own moral codes. As the months went by, Saad became a willing participant in their twisted games. He found a sense of belonging among these women, who lavished him with attention and gifts. He began to crave their touch, their whispers, and their secrets. The women, in turn, found a renewed sense of power and control in their lives, which had been lacking in their marriages. One day, a new member joined the book club, a young woman named Ayesha, whose intelligence and beauty captivated the group. As she became more involved with the club, she started to suspect that something was amiss. The whispers and the knowing glances between the women piqued her curiosity, and she decided to investigate. Aisha soon discovered the truth about Saad and the women's sordid secret. Appalled by their actions, she confronted them, demanding that they release Saad from his bondage. The women, fearful of losing their newfound freedom, tried to convince Aisha to keep their secret. When she refused, they threatened to expose her own secret, a torrid affair with a married man. Caught in a web of deceit and blackmail, Aisha realized that she needed to free Saad and herself from the clutches of these women. She hatched a plan to expose their wicked deeds and save Saad from a life of exploitation. Aisha began to document the women's actions, secretly capturing their encounters with Saad on video and collecting incriminating evidence. As her case grew stronger, she reached out to a trusted friend, a journalist named Zainab, who agreed to help her expose the women's dark secrets. Together, Aisha and Zainab worked tirelessly to gather more evidence and build a case against the women. They discovered that the women had been using Saad to fulfill their own desires, while also profiting from their illicit activities. The evidence was damning, and the women's world started to crumble around them. Finally, the time came to expose the women's sordid secret. Aisha and Zainab shared their findings with the authorities, who moved swiftly to arrest the women and save Saad from his life of exploitation. The women's families, shocked by the revelations, disowned them, and their marriages crumbled under the weight of their deceit. Saad, now free from the women's control, began to receive therapy and support from a local charity. Slowly, he started to rebuild his life, finding a sense of purpose and belonging in a community that embraced him for who he was. Aisha, too, found redemption as she began a new life in a different city, far from the toxic environment she had once been trapped in. Her courage in standing up against the powerful and corrupt had inspired others to speak out against injustice. Though the road to healing was long and difficult for both Saad and Aisha, they emerged stronger and more resilient, determined to forge a brighter future for themselves. And as for the women who had once held them captive, they faced the consequences of their actions, serving time in prison and losing everything they had once held dear.
Please subscribe to my channel Lessons of Life and press the bell notification icon.